This is what we do and more. And so, listen again. I'm gonna turn it over to the opulent one. Right? She's got something else to share with you tonight. Another hot spot in this show, and she gonna put it down to you. So again, don't forget. Again, we are not a medical facility. We do not hand out medical advice, but we do share the links that are necessary for you to live by and maintain good mental health and more. Right? There it is, Shannon. There it is, opulent one.
Queen. Thank you, Grand Queen. You have a treat tonight, folks. Not only is he a poet, he is a creative. He is the president of the Galaxy of Poets, founder, friend, brother, all of that stuff. And we are lucky to have him here tonight to discuss his story, to join us, and to tell us about the Galaxy. I met Poet through Facebook about 3 years ago in the embassy of the Galaxy of Poets when he was in the process of forming it, and I joined as a member. But I can definitely tell you, as a member, I was not only there to be a member, I was there to be a friend to many, and many has been a friend to me. And I can definitely tell you, as far as mental health advocacy goes, this is the person, him and his team, the vice president, the treasurer, the members, as a collective, they all get together and they, strive for the mission of maintaining good mental health. They also strive to make sure that they provide a platform, a safe space for people to come and vent through a creative way, especially. But I'm going to tell you, this is the place to be. Not only do they have the check-ins, they also have other amazing shows that you can attend, and you can just sit there and have fun and vibe. It's wonderful. I love the team. I love Poet, and I cannot express more what he means to me as a friend and as a fellow creative. I do appreciate him. I appreciate him being here today with us, taking time out of his schedule, and just having a good discussion with us. So without further ado, the incomparable, the Poet has spoken of the Galaxy of Poets. Hey,
what's up?
Hey, how you doing? I'm so glad that you're here.
I'm doing good. I'm doing wonderful. It's been a good day, except for the Ravens losing, but I'll get over it.
This is what we do and more. And so, listen again. I'm gonna turn it over to the opulent one. Right? She's got something else to share with you tonight. Another hot spot in this show, and she.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good night, whoever you are, wherever you are. Welcome to Stop It Show tonight. Oh, and Sunday, by the way, wherever you are, maybe Sunday, maybe Monday, another part of the world. We're glad that you're here with us tonight. And we have such an amazing, it's phenomenal what we have tonight, what's going on tonight. And forthgoing, we have the Poet in the house, Galaxy of Family, the Galaxy family with us tonight. And we're just so excited about together. And tonight we're going to be about the dynamics of grief, the components of grief. So grieving, know that we're going tonight get into the dynamics of it. And I'm your host, and the Grand Queen. And our phenomenal team on both sides. And that is just so good. Our amazing Shannon Chappelle, our show.
Hey, how are you?
Hey.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah. So tonight, like the Grand Queen said, tonight we have a very special treat for you. Tonight we have the poet has spoken from the Galaxy of Poets, a very phenomenal mental health platform to help people strive to maintain and have good mental health. So, y'all ready to get started? I introduce to you the poet has spoken and the Galaxy of Poets. Hey, what's up? You got your mic on mute.
We back in.
Hey, what's going on? How are you?
You know,
I'm so glad to have you.
Do it one more time.
We gonna do it one more time. We're gonna do it a couple times because we got a topic tonight.
Yes,
we got a topic tonight. You know, that's gonna really probably carry over because there's so many components to it. And that topic tonight is grief. Yeah. I think in the grieving process, we don't really feel comfortable or really express ourselves with what we're going through in the midst of grief. And that's just my opinion. But I wanted to share something with you, with the viewers, with everyone, really quick. But before I do that, I want you have your team here today. Would you like to introduce your team?
Let's go. First and foremost.
All right.
I definitely gotta. So this is like y'all gave me the hard job to do, right? But I'm gonna do it this way. Originally, my daughters were here in the beginning, so I'm gonna bring them up first, which is Queen and Leah. I'm gonna bring them both up first.
Okay.
Galaxy.
Hey, ladies.
How my babies?
The babies.
They are both members of the Galaxy, which I'm very proud to say to that because part of the Galaxy's legacy is their brother is one of the reasons why the Galaxy was started. Also, I want to bring up next. I'm gonna bring up Myra's Monarch. She is our membership director and also on a part of the board. One of the most important pieces of the Galaxy because without the team, it's just you can't do it. Last but definitely not least, my vice president and brother, Todd Black, ATL in the building.
Hey, everybody. Hello. I'm so happy. We are so happy to have all of y'all here. Y'all know that all of y'all are more to me than just fellow poets. Y'all are family as well, and I love you all. And I'm so glad you're here with us to discuss this topic. And I just, I want you to speak what's on your mind. And let's do things. Let's go to the message that not only does my platform and yours has, as I view it, of that healing and getting an understanding of and learning and like I say, learning and healing, and just talking about things. I don't think, and some people hate when I say this, that we, especially people of color, don't talk about mental health, don't talk about death. They talk about, we tend to not talk about too much. I don't know where that comes from, but when you don't talk, that has to internalize somewhere. So we have to get it out, and we have to support each other, and just be there for each other better. One thing I wanted to share with y'all that I found, and then we can get the discussion going, is that I learned that there are 5 stages of grief specifically. The first one will be denial, and that includes avoidance, confusion, shock, and fear. The second phase would be anger, frustration, irritation, and anxiety. Then there's a third one, which is interesting, called bargaining, struggling to find meaning, reaching out to others, and telling others one story. Then you move into depression, overwhelmed, helplessness, sometimes hostility. And the last one is the final part of that healing, which is acceptance. And just remember too, and I'll say this and I'll turn it over and we can get the discussion going. That these steps, and I've told Poet and I have told Myra a couple times that grieving is on your own timing, and nobody should force you or suggest anything that it should be in a particular amount of time. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. But whether we know it or not, I can say personally for me, in my grieving process with individuals, I have went through each and every one of these at one point in time. So I just wanted to ask you, Poet, let's start with you. What do you think about those 5 stages of that grieving process? Do you believe that to be true? Have you experienced that yourself? Does that make any sense at all? Or what do you think that process is?
Read all 5 of them again.
Yes, sir. The first one is denial, which includes avoidance, confusion, shock, or fear. The second one, and these are phases that this specifies you move into: anger, frustration, irritation, anxiety. The third one is bargaining. I had to look that up just to make sure I got the word right. Struggling to find meaning, reaching out to others, telling one story. Then it moves into depression, being overwhelmed, maybe helplessness, maybe even hostility. And the last one is acceptance. Acceptance.
Well, I would say that I've definitely 2 through 5. I've definitely experienced all of them. To be honest, I haven't even had a chance to be in denial, because it's been one after the next, after the next, after the next, after the next. So to experience denial, I can't even. Yeah, I've never experienced denial, but definitely the anger. Especially when you lose a child, you're going to be angry. I've been angry for a very long time, for different reasons, of different stages of grief, of those that I have lost. But acceptance, it's hard to accept, but you have to fall on your faith to accept it. Because if anyone utters the words, you believe in God's plan or God's will, then that means even in death, you have to accept that will. So I've been through all them stages, especially depression. I've been through where it's led me to self-medicating, even to suicidal thoughts. So yeah, that's it for me. I'm in the stage of acceptance now, I believe, and it has actually benefited me health wise, and physical health wise, and mentally it has benefited me.
Very good, very good. So you would say that you experienced not the first part, but probably the 2 through 5, you were saying, because there's a total of 5.
Yeah,
okay.
I've never had a chance to be in denial, because I mean, you know how many deaths I've experienced just over 8 years. There hasn't been any room for denial.
for denial. I get that. I get that. I'm gonna just, if y'all don't mind, I just want to ask each and every one of you really quick what you think about that, and then we can just go ahead and talk.
Yeah,
So
sure.
I think the next person up, if you don't mind, is Miss Queen. Do you believe that those are the stages of grief? Does that sound right to you, or what's your take on it?
I do feel like those are the stages. I somewhat agree with my dad when he said that like I didn't have a chance to be in denial somewhat. Except for when I lost my stepdad. When I lost my stepdad because it happened in my house and I just could not accept the fact that was the truth. I was in the stage of denial. I don't really feel like I have been in the stage of acceptance yet. I haven't got to that one with none of the ones that I have, the passes that I have been through, with the stages of grief. I don't feel like I have gotten to that point. And I don't know when I would get to that point. That's just personally how I feel.
It's not a rush. Not a rush at
Not
all.
a rush.
Yeah, not at all.
That's that taking time thing. And like I said, I wholeheartedly believe that. You don't let, that's in your own timing. And I had to slap a few folks upside the head and say, it's in your own timing, because to validate how you feel. And I'll say this real quick and be transparent. I haven't been in acceptance over a death that happened 25 years ago. I haven't fully accepted it because I didn't want it to happen. So I'm going to go ahead, but thank you so much, Queen. I appreciate your input. And Trayvon, I can't see the third person because my eyes are what they are. Is that Miss Leah?
Whether it's Leah, it's Ty in here. Obviously, it's Myra's Monarch in here. So anybody you want to pick from?
Miss Leah, what you think?
I would say on some I agree with my dad and Queen on some of it because I have not been in denial of any of them. Still on the acceptance part because I just can't accept the fact that I lost these people. But anger, anxiety, depression, definitely felt those and still feeling it to this day. But
yeah, I get you. I definitely get you.
Understood.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Ty Black, what say you?
Okay, so I would like to speak on denial because of the fact that if it hasn't happened to you personally, if you're still getting it over the phone, if it's in person, it's more personable, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I've accepted that there was no denial in the fact that the person that I love transitioned and he was in pain. So I would rather him ascend or transition knowing that there is no more pain than what it was. As far as the other steps go, I've definitely experienced them all. The frustration, the anger, the thought of bargaining to have that person back. And then of course accepting the fact that they're no longer here. But their thoughts, their memories, they still are. So that's what I think.
You said a lot of things, but I was looking at this list here with anger. I think anger was the longest thing I probably held on to. Anger. It was especially when a person transitioned suddenly, unexpectedly, no time to say bye, nothing. I've had those situations. And I remember being so angry and saying, it's not supposed to be this way. We are supposed to do X, Y, and Z, and you left. So, of course, that's not rational.
I would like to say, in anger, there is no closure. Because you're angry because you weren't able to do those things.
Yes.
But once you realize that in their transition, that there is some type of closure once you accept that fact, and you can finally move on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And like I say, you can be in any of these for a while before
Right.
you go to the next one. And that's just my experience. But thank you very much, sir. We're gonna get back into it. I just want to give Miss Myra a chance to speak. What say you on that? How you doing, baby?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
I think maybe experiencing my mother's death so young, everything that happened after that always was me anger, bargaining, and depression. And it was like that, like for a long time, a very long time. So um yeah, the anger and depression was really the most with the bargaining. Yeah, I would say some stuff that would maybe I would attempt to uplift myself while speaking to other people, but it was fake. It wasn't real. So it's like I was lying to myself saying that I accepted some things when I really didn't. So definitely anger and depression the most. But I started to catch myself bargaining, especially this year. And so I'm glad to see that we're working towards acceptance.
I'm sorry. Either way, it's hard. It's
Yeah,
hard.
it is.
It's
It is.
hard. And I would say, like I said, I've had a lot of different situations where people have left me, so to speak, in so many different ways, you know, that you can imagine, you know, and it's just like I switch. So I don't
Yeah.
think I'm at acceptance. I switch from one thing to the other. I think I'm out of that phase, but then I switch back to it, even for a minute, for whatever reason. Maybe I'm triggered.
Yeah.
But that's that's just me. I don't want to share that with y'all as well. But I'm
Yeah, I
gonna
was always
thank you.
like that with mom. It was always if something bad happened, I'd always
Mhm.
resort back to I want my mama. I want my
Yeah,
mama.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like
I,
it's a how dare you? I remember being just so angry. How dare you? How dare you leave me here? This is not how this is supposed to be.
Right.
And questioning that, you know.
Mhm.
But I know it's different for everyone. But thank y'all so much for answering that. I love hearing the perspective on that because it's something new to me. I didn't know that there were stages. So thank you all for your input. I'm gonna go ahead and hand it back over to Grand Queen. She's back into the room. Grand Queen. Okay. Can you hear me? Take your mic off mute. Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna hand it back over to you. And then, do you have something you wanted to put input into?
Guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. All right. Absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate everybody sharing transparency on the stages that they've experienced and how it happened. You know, it's just I'm glad that we have this opportunity to talk about it, be about it. Um, I went through all of it. There was one more. There was one more behind the 5 stages that I went. I still go through it. It's called prolonged grief, and that grief is persistent. It's not
Professor, I want to have you
Okay.
close out, and I'm gonna have you come back in because it's a little
Mm-hmm.
laggy. I hate to interrupt you, but it's a little laggy. So I want to ask
Mm-hmm.
you to close out and try to come back in if you can.
Okay. Hey,
while
Mommy,
while
if you
we
don't mind.
while we
Go ahead.
waiting on her to come back in, if I can say something real quick.
Of course you can.
Sure. Please,
I
please.
sitting here listening to everybody, right? I think acceptance is the wrong word to use because I accept that because I was built on faith. Like my mother's a pastor. My father was always a deacon, so I was always in the church or in some type of religious belief, right? So when it comes to accepting that part of it, but will I ever lose their memory? No. Just 2 days ago, I shed tears for my oldest son, right? So it's the feeling, the emotions will always be there. And wanting them to still be here and keeping their memory alive. This is one reason, once again, is the reason why the Galaxy is here, the reason why I published a book in remembrance of my dad, is to do something that people will remember them always, and also do things that you know they would want you to do to carry on their memory, and that they're looking down on us, and to make them proud. So I think, I don't know what the word would be, but I think what we define acceptance as, that's why for some it wouldn't ever be acceptance. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I kind of think I don't like the word necessarily itself. I'd rather use the word healing. Acceptance is a little different, but I do, in looking at the sub stuff under here, exploring options, a new plan in place, and moving on. I would replace moving on with healing. All over the place.
Yeah, because if in true healing, if something happened 5 years ago, and you've begun a healing journey, and everybody is in a different place in their healing journey. But from 5 years ago to today, something in you should have changed over that time. Like, I can only use myself as an example. When I truly started to heal from a lot of things, and it's not just death, everybody that knows me know that I've been biting on my nails for the last 30 years. I got nails now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't bite my nails anymore at all. That I would have never thought in my life that I would ever stop biting my nails, but it's because that I really started healing from some things.
Yeah, I see that. I do see that. But I think maybe it's it's exactly what it says. In my opinion, my experience, and our experiences are different. That with certain things, for me, it came to a point of what's next. What's next for me? You know what I mean? And I think that's probably more of them saying acceptance. But again, I would change that word. But what's next? Because I know with those individuals, if they were to see me decline or suffer and grieve the way I was, they would not want that for me. They just wouldn't want that for me. And part of it, and sometimes even realizing that a certain individual, they were very, very, very sick, and we're always taught, Trayvon and I, we're always taught that it's selfish to keep them here with you or want to be here as sick as somebody was, and what our belief is, we'll see that person later. You know what I mean? They'll make a place for us. They're always in our hearts. But I can say 30 years ago, my grandparents, for me, the level of how sick they were, they couldn't be here in that way. And I wouldn't want them to be there in this way. That was not the best of them. I love them enough to a certain point to let them go. And that was hard. That hurt. And there are times now I think about it, and I still feel overwhelmed. I feel something in here.
Yeah.
But that wasn't them. So I choose to. For me, I had to choose, and that's where I think the acceptance exploring the options and healing and moving forward in some aspect was just that of what I said. What can I do to keep their memory alive? What can I do to keep their memory alive? They wouldn't want to see me in this way. They might come and give me a good slap. Get up and get moving. Don't be like that. So I want to say one thing too. That part. But go ahead, Trayvon. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, and I would say that the toughest thing is listening to number one, having a small family. So I'm fortunate to have both my parents at 30 years old, still have both of them, alive and well. But as far as my immediate family, honestly, it's just me, my aunt, and my grandmother for the adults. So to know that one day I have to be the one to take things over, and I have to hurry up and scramble, and I feel like I have to get all these things so that I can show, my grandmother, for instance, with her being the oldest, anybody can go at any time. So your age has nothing to do with it. I can be first, not wishing that on myself, but anybody can go at any time. But the anticipation and me not having lost anyone, I've lost some people that I've known, but as far as having that gut wrenching feeling, those butterflies in your stomach, you want to throw up, you want to punch a wall, you want to be angry, those emotions and feelings that my mom was talking about, it's the toughest thing to be anticipating and waiting for it to happen, knowing that it's going to happen for the people in my family, and one day, you don't want to try to think about it, but I just wanted to say that that's the toughest thing. So I wish y'all all the mental clarity and everything that y'all can hold on to keep pushing. I can't imagine. So it's just tough listening to everyone talk about the loss and how they gotten through it, and not even gotten over it, but just how they have, had to bear what it feels like to lose somebody. So I just wanted to say, like, power to y'all. I wish y'all all the mental clarity that y'all can hold on to, because I think about it every day. The second my grandmother doesn't answer the phone, I'm ready to drive to her house to see what's going on. It almost haunts me, so I just wanted to say, from somebody who hasn't yet, I hope that all of y'all are around me when, that type of situation does happen for me, because it's something that, like, plagues my mind. But to hand the mic back over to y'all, I just wanted to, like, wish y'all all the mental peace and all the mental clarity that y'all can hold on to in these times.
Absolutely.
That's all I wanted to say.
As I said earlier, about prolonged grief, in my hearing tonight, I just believe experience we have and maybe still are experiencing prolonged grief. The existence, actual healing is the part that helps us. It sort of just stops that prolonged grieving. But you don't know how to stop it sometimes. And my daughter, she posed a question, and her question, you really have to accept it. And that part is equally as hard, as we found out tonight. Do we really have to accept it? However, as the poet said, I love it that you're healing because you're biting your nails. I'm just sort of like segueing into stuff, because that shows progression. It shows that, not only are you healing, you're also dealing with the prolonged grieving. I don't know when that stops, the prolonged grieving. For people in general, for people of color, 7 to 10% of bereaved adults experience prolonged grieving disorder. And, no matter where you are in the family, it's just there. And it's you just feel like you can't wrap your brain around sometimes. Especially as the poet said, he had his children, it has to do with separation. When something is severed from you, it's like somebody axe and just cut that pressure from you. It feels on a day-to-day basis, and it becomes prolonged. But what I'm hearing today is that we are finding some type of healing, and we do experience 2 to 3 or some of all of those stages of grief. But tonight we're finding hope. That's what I'm hearing. We're actually finding hope. But how do you deal with prolong? My question you deal with the prolonged grief, you know, that part.
So how do you deal with prolonged grief?
Yeah,
What's your
how do you
question?
deal with prolonged grief?
Well, I
Prolonged
would
When
say,
grief.
does it stop? Does it ever stop? And as my dad said, Ari, you know, do you have to accept it? Is it acceptable? You know, it's so many questions. Is it acceptable? Um, I don't know. And as now, for me, or as an older person, as a matriarch of my family, both of my grandparents, both sets of grandparents died, like back to back. Mom died back to back. Everybody just passed, boom, just like that. And we weren't prepared. They were like the pillars of the family. You were not prepared. I mean, spiritually, maybe, but emotionally, our well-being, we were not prepared. And as the oldest sibling of 7 people, I thought I was prepared, but I wasn't. And I struggled a long time, a long time. And the part about prolonged grief, I still go through it because sometimes I'm fishing like, I wish they were here. You know, so many things. When you go through rites of passage, like marriage, birth, happen in your life, you wish your parents were there. You, if they were there, you would be like, wow. If they knew that this happened, they would be so proud. But they're not there, and that's where the prolonged grief comes in. So how do you deal with that prolonged grief?
I think I would like, if possible,
it is possible.
Myra,
Anything is possible.
Yes.
Myra, if you got it in you to speak on that.
Take your time.
Mhm.
It's your time.
It's all right.
Honestly, that's something that I'm still dealing with. Um, one thing I have learned is that I can't allow it to make me a bitter or angry person. Um, I started to notice my interactions with other people and things that I said. Why am I talking so rough? Why are you so angry? Not even understanding that it's that grief that's taken over. And with it taking over, just more was added to it this year, experiencing an ectopic pregnancy. And so it made me grieve even harder for my mom not being here, because I knew if she was here, she would love on me as much as I craved the love I needed from her dealing with that. I definitely avoided a lot of things, um, even avoided like my writing, and just avoided writing not to talk about it. Even avoiding the fact that I do need a church home. I do need to have that relationship with God that I once had. So just being able to accept those things and just put work towards it is helping me more now. Like, I was literally sitting in church today and I just heard your mom is happy now because she's been seeing you numb yourself with drugs, with alcohol, sex, and ignoring that you have to go through this grieving process and learn how to maybe not reach acceptance, but like Mama G say, healing, and just being to that point to where I can share my story, but I don't want to allow that trauma to take over my life to where I'm not fully happy. So me handling it now, I'm making sure that I add those positive aspects that I need to add in my life, and just not be afraid to take that step out on faith especially going to therapy. Thank you, God.
Absolutely.
Not for
Just
therapy.
step by
That's a good thing.
That's a wonderful thing. And thank you for sharing that with us.
That.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing that.
This is we are open to learning and growing every day, seeking wisdom and understanding from those around you. We heal, we learn to heal, and we heal to learn. This is that part. Thank you. Yeah.
So appreciate it. So appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Absolutely.
You know,
So appreciate it.
You said that your daughter asked the question, do you have to accept it, right? Some of us, when we're going through grief, we can't get out of bed. Some of us don't take showers. Some of us don't eat. That's when you're in that stage of not accepting it. And like, let's not define in this moment, let's not define acceptance as what we know acceptance is defined. Let's define it as a healing process, like Mama G said. So if you're not in the beginning stages of healing, if you haven't even started healing, then you not getting out of bed, you not eating, you not taking showers, that is a form of depression. So that means you're not accepting what life is in this moment for whatever reason or for whatever happened. The moment you get out of bed and you start moving around, you start showering and you feel better about yourself, you start eating, you start communicating with, then that's your healing. Because without my circle, without my children, all the deaths that I have been through, I would be in a crazy house right now.
I'm so glad you got a team around you.
So that is part of the acceptance. I didn't get to this point by myself. With faith and with the people around me, I got to the healing process that I'm in. So I believe that for my answer, it would be yes, you have to be at some point of acceptance, but we're going to take acceptance out and say be at in some point of starting to heal. So you can continue to move on. And like Mama G said, they wouldn't want us to be down here hurting or suffering because they're gone. So if that's the case, then you have to be in some point of a healing process.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Understood.
Manage our emotional self. It's wear and tear on the emotional self, as well as the well-being. Our well-being is actually our mental health. It's our overall emotional, social well-being, how we make decisions, and as I said, the ability to get up in the morning, ability to self-care, to take a shower, to move forward in simple things, basic, but that's necessary. The ability to manage stress. So our well-being is the ability to express. The ability to express our emotional well-being is the ability to express how we feel and move forward and be able to make the right decisions concerning our physical well-being, our spiritual well-being. So the healing is so essential, as you said, not accepted to be healing. And
Healing.
I believe there's a pattern that we do have. There's a pattern of behavior that helps us towards healing. And it's so quiet and it's subtle. And it happens. Just appreciate it for sharing the healing part. This absolutely, Trey said earlier, anything is possible. With humankind, sometimes it seems impossible. With God, all things are possible because He gave us amazing, phenomenal, creative self, creative being to move and feel and heal and and understand through each other. We are just some amazing hues. And so this is what I have to say again, learning to live and living to learn through your experience is also our healing. Through each other's experience is also our healing. So, yeah, and having these conversations, having these discussions, for those who is listening, watching tonight, please don't hesitate. Don't hesitate to ask questions. It's okay. This is a safe space. And I feel some great, amazing vibes as you speak. I feel the healing process as you speak.
Definitely. If I can interject too, I would definitely love to hear. And I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but I just we have a full panel here. We have we learn off of each other. I truly wholeheartedly believe that your experiences and how you process something, don't think that you're alone in how you feel. That's where we need to open up communication and we need to talk and stuff more. So, Trayvon, can you put me back so I can see everyone again, if you don't mind?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Ty Black, what's
Hey, Ty.
Hi Ty. Anybody can jump in, but I got to know what you think about all this, sir. I got
Yes,
to know your
indeed.
take.
Okay, so first, understand that grief is not the same for everybody. It's a case by case scenario. Individuals have their own feelings, and like you said before in the and previously, that everything happens in their own time, and we have to process it in that time. So there is no rush. There is no deadline. There is no absolute time in which things will get resolved. Like we said before, grief could take years. Grief could take a lifetime. So with that being said, take the time to heal and learn what it means to heal in that time. Do the due diligence. Do not be stuck in grief because grief is just a season. And as seasons is everything, seasons pass. That's all I got.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you.
Good answer.
If y'all don't mind, can I ask a question of all of you? And I'm curious about it. In the middle of your grief, and we already established that it's in your own timing, like Ty said, and I said before. And we reached different stages of it. Some of them we never even explored that stage. We just went straight to something else. Is there a point? And here's the question: was there a point where you felt like you were starting to heal, just a little bit? You were starting to heal. You were starting to maybe move to a different phase. You were starting to, and again, there's that word, accept. The place that we're healing, you felt like you were pushing to another stage in that process of grief. What did that look like for you? If you were at that point now, what did it look like for you? Like you feel like something shifted a little bit. You maybe were like, okay,
I'm gonna answer.
here I am now.
Anybody can raise their hand and answer or whatever.
Yeah, anybody can raise their hand and answer.
Leah, you take this one. Yes, you.
I would say, like, okay, after losing my grandfather and one of my brothers in the same year, after a while, I was starting to heal, but then another death came around, and so it's like I'm still in my healing process over the last couple years of losing people back to back. What I did do for like my healing process is I just journal, and I try to keep up with doing that, like writing my thoughts and stuff down. But then it's like at a point in time, I just give up. I don't want to write. I don't want to do nothing. I even stopped even writing my poems because it's like I don't know, I just couldn't do it no more. But I'm still working on that, like getting back into my writing my poems, just journaling in general, and then like just building my relationship with God again, because like he was also like just talking to him and stuff that was also helping me heal. I gave up on that, but I'm back in my healing process all over again, even with the recent death of losing my brother.
So look,
Yeah.
right. I have to take this moment, because a lot of people call me strong, but these two and their siblings, the main reason that I am. But just to give everybody watching and everybody in here some context, right? 2016, we lost my brother. 2018, we lost my son, which is their brother. 2019, a stepson, which we of course had grown a relationship with. 2000, sheesh, I believe it was 20 or 21. It was a nephew. Last year it was a cousin and a nephew. This year it was my oldest son, their oldest sibling. So just imagine going through that in an 8-year span, and for them, you still in college, right?
Mm-hmm.
They still in college. They graduated from school through all that. They're still in college. So even when y'all think y'all not healing, y'all still in y'all healing process because you still moving.
Yes.
I just had to take that opportunity to give them their flowers.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Absolutely. Amen. 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 Amen.
Absolutely.
I would,
We love you guys. We love you guys.
Would you say,
Mhm.
Queen?
Go ahead. I heard you about to say something. Go ahead, love.
I
Go, Miss
was,
Queen.
I was gonna say for me,
It's just phenomenal. The children, we thank God for our
Go
children. I
ahead,
have
Queen.
to say,
Oh, go ahead,
although
Queen.
I'm not,
I
Go ahead,
said
Queen.
for me, I feel like to answer your question, I feel like I started to be in the healing process when I moved to California. I moved to California and I started being in my master's program. I started working out. I started journaling. I started doing everything. And
It's all right.
It's all right,
Take
love.
your time. Take your
You
time.
got
Take
it.
your
Take
time.
your time, okay?
Just take
It's
your
your
time.
time.
then for me to get a call that my oldest brother passed away, all of
Yeah.
that out the window.
Yeah.
I don't journal anymore. I don't write anymore. I don't go to the gym. And I have a lot of health issues that is going on because of that. Because at first I was starting to heal mentally and physically. But all of that has gone down, started to go down the drain because of the recent passing of my older brother. Now I have to gain all of that back that I was working on, and for me to have to move back to DC, so that way I can start to get my physical health better and my mental health better. So I am starting to get it, but it's just very hard because when I moved to California, I felt as though that I was just everything was just well for me. I was working in my field. I was doing my master's program. I was working out. I was and I was doing different things, and then it just stopped.
Yeah. Well, Queen, you're not a robot. None of us are robots, or we're not mechanical. We have feelings, and that's something right there to not only experience that loss, but then you hear lost from for about that person in particular, that's a sibling. That's a sibling. You know, I think sometimes, I'll say this for myself though, Queen. I remember being very young and thinking that there was a process. You only passed away when you got old. That's what I thought when I was probably about 6 or 7 years old. You only passed away then. There was a process. Babies didn't pass. Certain things didn't happen. But that was the mind of a 6-year-old. And that's why I always say that healing. Don't beat nobody beat themselves up over having a setback. This happened or people suddenly leave your life or whatever's going on. And then it's like, if you walk around like nothing is happening, then something is really wrong there. So what you have is a natural reaction. But eventually what you hope to do is to get back into those things. Again, I'm gonna drive this home in your own timing, and I mean that. You get back to you when you are ready. You know where you want to be.
I appreciate
Grieve,
you. Yeah.
grieve and love your
All
brother wholeheartedly, and those people that you have. Take time to do that. Always remember him, and I know you will. But you want to get back to yourself when it's time to get back to yourself fully, and it's going to transition naturally. So don't worry. And that's for I keep saying Layla. Now please forgive me. I'm horrible with names. But it goes with your other daughter too, Poet. So I hope I hope you don't take offense or anything about what I said, but it's from the heart.
Yeah, I'm glad that y'all are doing this and giving and sharing this with us, because this is not anything that's easy. I appreciate if I can hand you a tissue, if I can give you a hug, Queen, through the phone, and usually if I can, in times like if I can give you dap or give you a hug, Poet, Miss Myra, if I can if I can do something to let y'all know or make it better for y'all, I would. I wish that I was around y'all in y'all spaces. This is the way that we're able to communicate, because I would have loved for us to be all in the same room so I can really feel it and really talk to y'all. So when things were done and the conversation died down, that we can, come together. But I appreciate y'all just being transparent and sharing it on this platform. I just want to let y'all know that
I do too.
I appreciate it, because
And thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing that. Everything that y'all shared today, whether you believe it or not, help somebody.
Indeed. Professor, I think you were going to say something. I'm going to have Ty and Miss Myra also answer that too. But I think you were going to say something, Professor. So before I continue, I just want to let you say whatever you're going to say if you're there. Let me unmute you. Are you there, Professor?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. Yeah, I just appreciate Queen and every tonight. For our younger people, it doesn't matter. She is not biased. In my mind, it hurts when it hurts. It's a boo-boo. It's there, and it digs in. However, you talk about it in a safe space, it's more than helpful. You may not feel it at that moment, but it's very, very helpful. And we will heal together. Really, sometimes you may have to heal virtually. However, it's the connection, it's the interconnection, and together. This is why I more than appreciate everybody tonight, in a new way, because for many people, they don't have this opportunity to talk about grief. They don't have this opportunity to open a conversation. So here we are tonight. Here we are tonight together.
Exactly.
We appreciate you guys so much for this and being able to share our experiences among each other. So yeah, heal. Get into it, as one of our models is, get to it, get with it. That's what that part.
Exactly. And mommy, can you reiterate on that last question again? Because I think it was Miss Mara and I that didn't get to answer your last question.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Excuse me. um, um, we silly here. We got that little silly in there. The question was, depending on where you were in that grieving process, is there at some point that you felt that you were at least on your way to some type of healing? Let's just get rid of everything that was said on that grieving process for a second. What was it that you found that you said, you know what, I'm on my way to it, or I think I'm shifting. Something has shifted to the healing. Is there something that may have happened where you like, okay, what we gonna do next? What's going on now? Of kind of moving forward in some way, but or healing. I hope you understood my question because I said a lot. Did you ever find that place somewhat yet in your grieving?
Miss Mara, you can start first. That's why I have you on the larger screen if you want to speak on that real quick.
Yeah.
And if you haven't got there yet, it's okay too.
To be honest, maybe like 2 weeks ago. I know it was a Tuesday, and I was just like, for the first time, probably ever, I felt clarity. And I felt that because I stopped numbing myself. And I didn't even realize I stopped numbing myself. This was really God. This was all God, because I didn't even realize I wasn't doing things that I was like abusing the substances I was abusing to numb myself, to not think about it, to put myself in a deep sleep, to put my mind in altering place. It had to be like 2 weeks ago. I was like, I don't know. He just hit the clarity switch. And it was like, okay, so I know what I need to do next. And next was, okay, therapist. And like, come to church. I'm like, okay. So it's like really just now where I feel like I'm finally on like the path to where I know that I'm healing. And I know this time next year, I'm not going to feel like I'm feeling this year.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes that hits you, that smacks you across the face. Sometimes it's like, what?
Yeah.
What are you saying? Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm teacher now. I told my students that. I was like, no, Miss Myra see you when you don't even think she see you, and I'm clear today, so watch it.
Right. You get up in that therapy, you be like, who are you talking about?
Yeah.
That ain't me. That is not me. Yeah, you must be talking about somebody else. Feel or think that way or whatever it was. But sometimes it's like, having to admit a lot of stuff that's very, very hard.
Yeah. And it's not a fake happiness. It's not a arguing with myself and acting like I'm okay. It's like, if I'm not okay, then I'll just say I'm not okay. I just learned to stop hiding the fact when I don't feel okay, to just, let whoever know that's around me, hey, I'm not okay, so
Exactly.
and just understand to say you're not okay. You're not perfect, and people don't expect you to be perfect. So even Ty told me the other day, girl, water your tree.
Yeah.
Water it.
I like that. That'd be on a t-shirt.
Yeah. So just him telling me that he knew I wasn't okay and I was just acting like I was. So yeah, we clear over here.
I know that's right.
Absolutely.
That's the best way to be.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And Mr. Ty, if you can do the same thing for me, I want you to answer the question behind Miss Myra.
Okay. So when it comes to the actualization that you're feeling a little bit better,
Yes.
You don't feel like you're down. There's a lightness in your chest. You're able to move. You don't feel as depressed as you would on the regular days. The sun seems to shine a little bit better, and you're able to smile. You're able to converse a little bit better. Those are the moments that I feel that you're in the process of healing. The moment that you're able to laugh, the ability to connect with somebody, even though you've been isolating yourself for so long. You know, the tears may come and go, but they're less frequent.
Mm.
They're still there. Trust and believe they're still there, but they come in moments like recollections of memories, the good times that you had or the bad times that you had with that loved one or whatever situation that you're grieving about. Because let's remember that grieving is not always about a lost person.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Grieving is not about
Absolutely.
somebody that transitioned, not all the
Yeah.
time. It can be medically, it can be spiritually, it can be emotionally. You can be grieving,
Yeah,
and you could be grieving about those situations. So
exactly.
the moment that I feel, and again, I can only speak for myself, is when I know that I'm able to connect or I'm willing to connect with somebody else. Because in those times of grief, I tend to withdraw because I don't want to be anybody else's burden.
Yeah. I get that.
Actually, I wanna, if I can, I wanna answer one of those questions. I wanna
Oh
everyone
yeah.
of the Galaxy team to be able to answer the question and feel like they're speaking their piece. And hold on, mommy, let me mute your microphone. That that everybody is getting a chance to speak their piece. So I didn't really want to be talking too much, but I would say when it comes to feeling like you uh, recognizing that you're in a healing process, like I've been through everything that all the emotions and challenges that I've heard some of the people speak on, like Miss Mara and a few other people, not to highlight anybody specific, but when it comes to um, trying to cope, dibbling and dabbling in certain substances or whatever it may be, trying to cloud your mind or just trying to get off the situation. But recognizing when you're healing is when when your mind comes back down to the ground. Because I've been in when I first moved to Maryland, I was in a position where I lost my mind. I didn't necessarily flip out or do anything you would think losing your mind entails, but uh, I know what it feels like to not want to leave the house. I know what the darkness feels like where these to the outside. I didn't want my first year living in Maryland. I wasn't speaking to anyone. Some of the things that transpired, I had what I maybe was a PTSD or what I was fearful of leaving. I couldn't handle the job. I couldn't handle the pressure of all these people around me and all this stuff going on. So I just wanted to say that number one, that I do recognize some of those feelings. That's why I mentioned what Miss Myra had said about substances and what the poet was saying about trying to cope and what Leah and what Leah was saying about trying to well, actually, both of you was trying to. Leah and Queen was saying about trying to cope, falling off from those things. But when you get back to yourself, your mind is calmer. You're able to process your thoughts. You're able to start believing in yourself again. You start to stand in who you are again. You start to stride better. You start to see the light. Instead of hiding in the darkness, instead of wanting to be cooped up in the house, you want to start breathing fresh air. You want to start seeing people and seeing things transpire and go. You want to see things in motion again. Your life starts spinning. The world starts turning again instead of you feeling like you're in it and it's floating around you. So I think, like I said, when your mind comes back down to the ground, when you're able to start to think and rationalize and you start to feel good and things entice you again, because I know what it feels like to go numb. I know what it feels like to not,
Mm.
to not want to be here. Someone said, I think it was the poet that said something about suicide. My mind has been in that place. Why the reason why I thought the adult thing to do would be to check into maybe a therapist or a psychiatrist, or maybe I need to check myself into this facility to get right with myself. But I just want to say that I relate. It may be in a different way on grieving of somebody, but like Ty was saying, it's not always grieving over a person. It's not always grieving over a death. So I had to fire my whole life.
Yeah, but you know Trayvon too. Absolutely, you know my main thing right now is grieving over something I lost, and it was not a person. You know, that is what had me seek, mental health care. And what I don't want to happen to people is for it to get to a point where someone makes a decision for you that you're going to get it. And you know the story and everything, and I'm not ashamed to tell anybody that needs it. And I almost feel like it's almost a testimony, because for so long people thought because I could do this or that, I couldn't possibly be experiencing depression. But I have been experiencing depression since I was probably about 7, 8 years old, and I'm almost 50 now. So that's a very, very long time, and that loss. And I think the key word here is that a loss of something that was dear to my heart sent me into that tailspin. So I'm proud of you, and I'm proud of anybody, and I encourage to please find a good therapist, find a family unit, and I mean whether you're good friends or whatever it is, a positive unit, and just work on getting back to your best self. That's the only thing that you can do. Get back to your best self. We all have a contribution to give. We have so much to give to the world. We don't even realize how much and how valuable we are to so many people. So I just wanted to say that regarding what you had just said. Thank you.
And also, my plan is to give the poet the last 10 minutes or so to speak his piece or anyone else on the panel if he wants to pass over the mic to share anything they want to share. But I do have 2 poems that I believe is Ty and Miss Mara are going to be giving to us. I just seen the message from you in the poet in the private chat, so I did want to bring you up on the main screen and maybe let you facilitate and pick who you want to speak first, or however you want to do it.
First and foremost, I want to appreciate this opportunity. This is a hard subject, and I believe that this is one of the subjects that we do need to speak about more, because to normalize the subject, not the effect or effect, can help us get through this, and just it's like a support group, support system, and we all need it. So I appreciate the opportunity for this. Of course, ladies first. We're gonna have Myra go first, and then Ty.
Not a problem.
Miss Myra.
Everybody, make sure they mute their microphones, please.
Let's go, girl.
This is actually something new I wrote. I went to Texas to visit my family, and when my aunt was bringing me back to the airport, I heard a song about prayer, and I just thought about all the women in my family that I lost. I tried it for myself. Prayer protected me since a child. My mother's prayers I witnessed as she suffered the hands of a man's abuse. I always wondered why she constantly pressed rewind, singing, "Be encouraged, no matter what's going on." Encouraging herself, never expecting her life be cut short too soon. I paid attention. Mama prayers got her into freedom from painful cuts, beatings, and amputations. It would be selfish of me not to accept her fate. And Grandma, she used to sing all through the house. God is my everything, and is. As much as my grandma knew about her marriage and some piles of lies, she was always cleansing to cleanse her mind. I watched Mama mop the floor on her hands and knees. She couldn't shake that plantation life, was real silent. Ain't no telling what she seen. Paying attention, it showed me when I tried for myself, prayer for blessings, for health, and that protection. You get married and was cheated on from the beginning. I don't know how many women, but so many things could have happened. As he prayed, I was praying. God is my everything. Reminders of the reason why we sing. Our ancestors had songs in their hearts as they suffered at the hands of our oppressors. Some curses aren't generational, they're lessons. My definition for prayer be push until something happens. I'm a witness. It's been generations of this. So on those days, I push, I press play. Today's a new day, but there is no sunshine. Nothing but clouds, and it's dark in my heart, and it feels like a cold night. I pray, pulling myself up when my bed becomes a sunken place. I then find my strength, myself armored up, ready to go toe to toe with the enemy. Be catching me swaying side to side slowly as he throws his sticks and stones. Even though I hurt, see, I smile. I know prayer will change things. I found a friend. Help me then and over again. Why put my trust in any man? Men has no answer to my prayers. A strength that could never boast or come close to my real protection. You can take my word or do it for yourself. Ain't nothing like a strong prayer life when you're surrounded by so much death. Peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody unmute your
All
microphones and
right
give her
now.
some snaps now. Y'all know what it is. I'm
All
liking
right
that.
now.
I'm loving that actually. Thank you for
My
sharing, love.
girl.
Yeah,
My
thank you for
girl.
sharing. That's what I'm
So,
talking
Yeah, I
about.
love that. Thank you so much.
Ty, before you go, my daughters are brave enough to hit this mic with for a couple of their pieces. Leah, I'm gonna let you go first, and then
Not a
Queen.
problem at all.
Go ahead, Leah.
Okay, the name of my poem is called Losing Three Souls. Losing you a week after my birthday, it was so hard getting a call at 2 o'clock in the morning saying that you went on home to God. I was devastated. Didn't know what to do but break down. Losing the father figure that took care of me when my dad couldn't be there. Then I heard a voice say, "Granddaughter, it's going to be okay. I'm in a peaceful place now. I'm not suffering anymore. I'm not going through any more pain. Put the tears away and just smile." The week after that was the last time I was able to see your face. I smiled through all the tears. I started to remember all the memories we had. One that stood out to me was calling the house phone, being able to say, "Granddad, Grandma, Granddad, hello, it's me, Aaliyah." Then hearing your voice when you picked up the phone. We talked for a minute. Miss hearing your voice and seeing your smile. A week later, I was in a hospital for anxiety attack. I thought I wasn't going to make it, but I knew that God and my granddad was watching over me, saying, "Baby girl, it's not your time." Fast forward and lost another soul. Losing you really broke me. Losing you when you were only in your early 20s. Losing you and not even being able to have one more conversation with you. Losing these important people, I didn't know what to do with life anymore. Losing my granddad and brother, I knew life was over. Just 2 years later, I lost another one. The fam just couldn't take it anymore. Losing this soul right here, you just knew life was over. Losing the soul that was the life of a party. Losing the soul that knew how to get a family function going. Losing this person, my heart was completely broken. Losing my grandfather, brother, and cousin, my heart has no more pieces. Why did I have to lose these three souls?
Yay!
All right, y'all. Give him some respective snaps, please.
Come on.
Thank you.
You know how to do
Thank
it.
you for being
You know
brave
how to
enough
do
to
it.
even do that. Thank you for
Thank you,
being
Miss
brave enough to
Leah.
even do that. Thank you, Leah.
Thank you, Miss Leah.
Thank you so much, Leah.
Mm-hmm.
My God. My God.
Thank
Queen,
you.
you ready? Proud of you, Leah.
Ready? I'm
All right, let's go.
Proud of
Come on,
all
Miss
y'all.
Queen.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right,
Look
love.
at
Go ahead.
torture show and discussion. I'm excited. Go ahead.
Yes.
Seriously, go ahead,
Queen.
love.
Yeah.
all right.
Everybody, mics, please.
This is called Queen's Heartbreak Hotel. I'm not gonna do the whole thing because it's a long poem.
No problem.
I have a story to tell. So much pain and anger inside, I hide it away because I'm the strong one. I'm the oldest one. My pain hides itself during the day in laughter and smiles. After dawn, my tears begin to fall. They don't see that. I'm supposed to stand tall. Right now, I'm thinking about letting all the tears drop, all the screams out. I'm almost to my breaking point. I'm the strong one. I can't break. See, they don't know the heartache that I have had to be strong about. Take a vacation at Queen's Heartbreak Hotel. Only the strong will survive. Maybe. Guest service. Hello, welcome to Queen's Heartbreak Hotel. Only the strong will survive. Maybe. This is not your typical hotel, so I'll be your tour guide and I'll show you around.
Hey.
Hey. All
Give her
right.
some respectful
Give it a
snaps,
snap.
please.
Give it a snap.
Keep it real.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you,
Give
love,
her
for
a
showing.
flower.
Queen.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Heartbreak
Thank you.
Hotel. Wow. And that's
Ty
the
Black.
oldest. Mhm. Yes, Queen.
Grief is not always calculated in the loss of a loved one. It is usually subtracted from the equation because such a thought is considered minuscule in comparison. Never allowing such a feeling to penetrate the surface, just lost in hopes of never having to be processed. So we're just numb, allowing this trauma to pass by us, but behind closed doors, these tears flow endlessly, reliving the tragedy again and again. Endless nightmares have us shook with no consolation, just a rapid breathing as we attempt to calm ourselves just to wake up still trembling, not eating, knowing that loved ones aren't able to. Painful until the actual until we actually talk about them and allow the good times to break away all the walls constructed, leaving ourselves exposed to the love so that love can surround us, protecting us so we can finally grieve. Poem.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We appreciate
sir.
that.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Tim.
I will end it.
Thank you very much. Wow.
I was broken,
Ah,
fractured, damaged. No longer in one piece, I was in pieces. No one could put me back together again. I had to become my own dissectologist, a master of puzzles. See, it was puzzling to others of how I walked through the fire, but I never got burned. I learned to take the pain and forge it into armor. I've taken so many hits that it left me down and discarded. No one could hold my broken heart, and I was misunderstood. I was labeled standoffish when that was a protection mechanism. I was labeled selfish when I was the most selfless. No one never took the time to walk in my shoes. Let me see you run miles of death like I do. You have no clue of all the storms that I have had to endure, not sure if death was going to come back for me because the last time I missed my final destination, waiting, anticipating, wondering when death was going to come lay his hands back upon me, but instead, death took grandma's hands from me. Death took the breath out of my baby girl's body, slowly tormenting me. See, I mourned through all 4 seasons. I've had so many reasons to give up, but still, I rise. And with my own hands, I've tried to become death's accomplice. Thankful that that is not one of my accomplishments. See, there's a long list of those that I miss: a brother, a father, 2 sons, plus 2 nephews, and a cousin in a span of 8 years. And sometimes I wonder, how am I still here? How am I still standing? Then I remember God has his hands on me. I am anointed. I am one of the chosen, and many would be frozen by the weight that has been laid upon my shoulders. They told us that God would not give us more than we could bear. That's why I am the heir of the pain that you could not carry. I am your Moses. I am your Noah. I am the eye of the storms of chaos all around me. See, this is not a boast. This is to show you through all your trials and tribulations, you can make it. Now, everyone say it with me. I am strong. I am purpose. I do matter. I am enough. We will no longer be caged by our victimizers. We are the sun, and we will continue to shine and keep rising. See, we are no longer broken. We are shattered pieces that make us whole.
Y'all not gonna make me cry. Y'all not gonna make
Look,
me
I
do
already
this.
started.
Y'all not gonna
Shoot.
make me feel like, yeah, I see you. I kept you off the screen. Just I had
I'm
you
just
up for a
like,
second and pulled you back down just because I didn't wanna.
Listen, Ty, and then he said, Poet, I've been where Poet has said this piece before, but this is my first time really hearing the piece. Yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody want to shout anybody out? Anybody want to give any last like remarks? And also, I said in the private chat, feel free and please do give me any tips, suggestions, or anything you want to hit on for the next show, because we do have a continuance with y'all. But does anyone have anything they want to say before we close out? You're welcome to it.
You was about to say something, Bree? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I want to shout out my father. I love you, my father of mine. I'm very, very proud of you. Very proud of you.
yeah,
Yeah.
Girl, go ahead.
yeah. Look,
I'm gonna just keep it right there, but very
you better
proud.
stop. My eyes sweating. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm ready now. Don't be doing that.
I appreciate it.
Anything else you want to say, or you good? You want to pass the mic along? Not a problem. I
She'll
got you.
pass it. She'll pass it.
Anybody else want to say anything? Give any last minute remarks? Go ahead, Miss Myra. I see you up there.
Miss Myra.
Go ahead, mommy, mute your mic.
Yes, ma'am, sir.
I just have to say that don't push yourself and do not distract yourself from healing. I did it, and I had a plenty anxiety attacks to add up to it. You have to allow yourself to heal. And I'm not just saying that to anybody that's listening. I'm saying that to myself as well. I'm just learning to accept that. So to anybody, do not put all of that stuff on your paper plate and you know it can't hold it. You're going to have gravy dripping off the side of it. Make sure you do what you need to do. Don't try to distract yourself. I gave myself a bunch of projects just to distract myself from healing. And you see where I am now. God had to sit me down twice.
Understood. So, it happens.
Yeah, sat down. So don't distract yourself from healing. Allow it to happen. And if you cry, you cry. Call me. I'll cry with you. Thank y'all so much.
Well, thank you for being here so much. Trayvon, you're on mute. You're on mute there.
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't know if you wanted to say anything, Ty or Leah. Y'all welcome to it as well. The floor is open. Yeah, if you want to pass it along, that's fine. So, yeah.
Aaliyah, you good? Go ahead.
I want to thank my dad for actually asking me about this, to come on here and speak about grief, because this is stepping out of my comfort zone. So understood. I do want to thank him for asking me to be here, and thank you guys for allowing me to be on this platform and have this opportunity to speak about grief, because I definitely just hold it to myself and don't speak about it enough. Dad, I'm also proud of you. I love you. And
see.
Listen,
I'm
everybody know
telling you.
they the ones that get they the ones that get me. Listen, I'm proud of everybody. We've come a long way. And I just hope everybody that's looking at this, that will look at this, get something out of it. Like on this screen is a lot of different stages of grief and healing. But you gotta start somewhere. That's all that matters. When the pain comes, when the hurt comes, when the tears come, let them. It's okay.
Yeah.
Just allow yourself. For me, when those things happen, I go to what makes me feel better, and that's usually music or writing. And sometimes you just gotta go outside where it's loud and scream, like just get it out however you can. You know what I mean? And sometimes go to the playground and be a kid again. Like take yourself out of being an adult and go do the things that they like to use to do. And start to just remember the good things. That's what helps you. So I appreciate everybody being here. I appreciate y'all for having this platform and allowing us on. And
Yeah, you always welcome. All y'all are always welcome. It's always open arms. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think before we close out, we have some time. Let the audience know where they can find the Galaxy of Poets if they want to become a member or just join in on some of those great shows that y'all have, and any upcoming events that you may have going on. Let us know.
Okay.
I know you got
First
some.
and foremost, the 4th year anniversary is coming up in Nashville. We are going to party because it's definitely a milestone. You can find us on Instagram at @thegalaxy_of_poets, and I will turn it over to my social media director to run down all of the shows because that is his department. Ty Black, it's to you.
Good evening, everybody. And again, thank you for this opportunity to come up on this show. When it comes to shows on the Galaxy of Poets, we do daily mental health check-ins. We have open mics, all on live, all on Instagram. So again, you can follow us on Instagram under @thegalaxy_of_poets. We also have postings on Facebook and other social media platforms, but primarily we're on Instagram. So if you're on IG, make sure that you follow on the Galaxy. That part.
That's what's up.
And if you want to become a member of the Galaxy of Poets, holler at Myra's Monarch because she is our membership director. So yes, that's how you can get in contact with us. IG, one of us, holler at us.
Trayvon?
Yes, Mom.
Trayvon?
Yes,
if
Mom.
you can hit us with our disclaimer before we go, we're going to get out of here.
Yeah, not a problem at all. Give me 1 second and I got you. I'm gonna pull that up for you right now.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Let's see. All right, so this is the friendly disclaimer, everybody. We normally run this at the beginning and end of every show. This just covers us in general to let people know and remind them that all that we say, all the advice that we give from our hearts is solely that. It's just from our hearts. We are not here to say anything that deters you from being from seeking out the mental health advocacy and mental health help and assistance that you should be seeking out. So as a friendly disclaimer, everybody, the information in this video is not intended nor implied to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Like I say all the time, we're mental health advocates that are here for you. All content that is put out there is to be considered as such, which is just help, assistance. My goal was always for this show to be the safety net before the fall. I think everybody on this platform has seen a little bit of darkness. I think we all know what it feels like in different ways to not see the light, not really know where things are going, not really knowing what direction that we're going to go in. I'm excited to say that we do have another show that's coming up. I believe don't want to say it wrong. I believe that's on the 28th. I know it's not next Sunday because we changed our schedule. It's the Sunday after that. So we will be having the Galaxy of Poets back. Whoever decides to join in on the next conversation. We do have our shows from 7:30 to 8 p.m., which is the Pit Stop. That's every Wednesday and every other Sunday. So this Sunday, we had the Galaxy of Poets and the Poet Has Spoken. And then we'll be skipping the Sunday. And then back on the 28th, we'll be bringing everybody back to continue the conversation. So I would love for everybody that's been here. Number one, thank you. Like I said, thank you for giving us your time. Thank you for being transparent. Thank you for being willing to say these things. You know, I don't take it for granted. I could care less about views and numbers and who's looking and who's watching. I just hope that everybody that took the time to give their piece here feels like they were able to get a little something off their chest, just be heard. Even if you didn't get anything off your shoulders, even if you didn't get anything off your chest, the first thing I want you to feel heard. I'm so happy that the Poet, along with Myra, along with Ty, along with Leah, along with Queen, I'm glad that all of y'all have that space to call one another. The team is already here. The proof is in the pudding. So y'all not alone, and that's the best thing that you can be having is people that you know you can call. So I encourage everybody to tune in, watch the show back, check out their IG pages. Every once in a while, when I have time, I'm able to catch a check-in, because sometimes I got to check in with somebody else. I know I'm a mental health advocate and all that, but sometimes I need somebody to say something to me, to advocate for me. So I wanted to thank y'all for y'all time. You know, I'm excited to see y'all on the next show, and don't be afraid to give any tips or any suggestions on things that you want to touch on next time, because I want to make sure that this time is given to y'all fairly, so all y'all feel like y'all had time to speak. Hopefully, I hope that y'all got everything off your chest so far that we could get out in this allotment of time, but I'm excited to have y'all back for the next show. So thank y'all.
Yep. Thank you for coming. We're about to close this thing out. I am so glad to see each and every one of you. I'm glad that we're all in this together to advocate for mental health. We all need it. We all need our family. We all need our units. So thank each and every one of you and all the viewers for coming through. I love you dearly from the bottom of my heart. From the bottom of my heart. So we're going to close this thing on out. Peace.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all for y'all time. I'll be excited. Don't forget to let me know somehow, some way through the Poet or however you want to do it. Let me know what y'all want to touch on next time, because like I said, this time is here for y'all, for all of us, but mostly for y'all to share. So thank y'all. Catch y'all later. All right. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Queen. Thank you, Poet. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Poet. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. All right, Malman. Thank you.
All right, see you soon. Bye.
So much for facilitating that. I appreciate you.
Oh, no problem.
All right, Mommy. Bye. Catch you later. All right, y'all. Like I said, y'all know where to catch us. You can catch us on JTI Reform page on YouTube, JTI Reform 1. I encourage y'all to catch the next show on the 28th, because I don't know, when I get off of here, I know I'm going to watch the show back, because when you're on the show and you're talking to people, it's kind of hard to take it in the same way you can when you sit down solo with no distractions around you to really watch it again, because I heard a lot of different takes. So I really appreciate the transparency. One thing that I must do before I go is shout out to Michael Stewart is one of the people around the neighborhood that I hang around, the people that I hang around all the time, the personal memories, the one-on-one conversations that I had with this person, just an awesome person. You know, I didn't expect, we're talking about grief, and Mike Stew had recently lost his dad about a month ago. And for, us to touch on the subject of transparency and getting into this and dwelling on that, it's such a sad thing to see somebody indulge on anything that takes them away from here. I know that you're in a better place. I know that you were hurting. I know that you were ready. Nobody wants you to go. Nobody wanted you to leave that way. I didn't expect it. But I wanted to shout out to Mike Stu for the impression that he gave on me as an older person, somebody that I can look at as like an uncle, somebody I can get some advice from, somebody who seen me for who I was as a person, and I'll never forget that. So I wanted to shout out to Michael Stewart. He just passed maybe about 4 days ago now. So it's very fresh. It's very fresh for his mom and everybody else. So shout out to Miss Helen. Shout out to everybody that surrounds Michael Stewart, all of his personal family, all of his personal friends, anybody like myself who has nicknames from him and different things like that. I just wanted to highlight and shout out Michael Stewart. So I thank y'all for watching. I appreciate y'all. Thank you again to the poet. Thank you to Miss Myra. Thank you to Queen. Thank you to Leah. Thank you to Ty. Thank you to the whole Galaxy team for sharing the subject of grieving. Thank you. Catch y'all next Sunday on the 28th. I'll be happy to see y'all. Bye.